And we're live. See how easy that was? All right, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is the today it's the Hamm and the Beer Man show.
Hey!
NASCAR Live Chat with Hamm and Beer Man. So hope everybody had a great day. It's been raining here pretty hard finally after several months. I think when Scott came back from Florida, he brought the rain.
Finally, yeah.
Well, that's good. We
It
needed
poured
it.
this afternoon.
So, all right, we're here talking about NASCAR. But if you don't know me already, I'm a 25-year NASCAR engine builder. David Hamm recently retired and a 7-year jackman. And Scott has, I think together we have a combined 40 years in NASCAR.
Yes.
So Scott was the beer man.
NASCAR marketing, promotions, you name it, we did it.
Every track we go to, we see the beer man banners hanging up.
Oh yeah.
So
Welcome race fans.
That's right. So today we're going to talk about the NASCAR New Hampshire race.
Can we take a quick second?
The Foxwood Resort Casino 301. And then we're going to recap that. What else we're going to do, Scott?
We're going to take a second to memory of our buddy Nick Harrison. Our boy Nick passed away in his sleep. They had found out yesterday morning. He was touched by so many lives. Nick was a great man, smile on his face all the time. We had a lot of good memories with Nick. He was one of Sterling's good friends. Sterling brought him over to North Carolina to race, you know, and he just worked with a lot of different teams throughout the years, and just not a bad thing to say about Nick Harrison. And it's sad for we lost a legend in our sport this weekend. So y'all just say a prayer for Nick and his family. They're going to have their visitation and the services tomorrow in Columbia, Tennessee. But Nick always had a smile. I'm sure you saw stuff on Facebook. But think about Nick and his family. Did you know Nick?
No, I never did know Nick. No, I
Good
was
guy.
gonna...
He loved to drink Coors Light, baby. And me being the beer man, I took good care of Nick. He always had a big smile on his face. He loved life. So live life to the fullest, David.
All right, so we're going to go over
New
race
Hampshire.
recap for the Foxwoods Resort Casino 301, the finishing order, the point standings,
Concord, New Hampshire.
and then we're going to talk some about the upcoming race at Pocono, which is why I'm wearing the Pocono Raceway hat. And this hat actually was signed by the Wood Brothers.
There you go.
And with Ryan Blaney and Lynn Wood, Glenn Wood.
Victory Lane hat there, isn't it?
Yeah, Victory Lane hat.
There you go. Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
And it says Pocono, one of however many.
And it's got your name on the
It's
bottom,
like,
on the inside there. It says Hamm.
Oh yeah, and I got my name inside.
Yeah, you got a Hamm.
I think that was just saying that this is my hat and nobody else's hat.
That's right.
Pretty much. But the old great Leonard Wood signed it right here.
Engine builder.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Good stuff. All right, so in the race, the Foxwood Resorts Casino 301, the finishing order. Of course, Kevin Harvick won, finally. And he finally got that monkey off of his back.
Yeah, in the
'Cause
bush,
that's been
in the
on
bush
him for a
Ford. That's
while.
what I like to see. That bush Ford, and that was a national park scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I like that car. That was really cool.
Yes, yes.
Then the second place was Denny Hamlin,
Denny Hamlin.
Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Matt DiBenedetto,
Ooh.
Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman actually had another finish. That's seventh. Finished seventh.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Brad Keselowski rounding out the top 10. So that is actually 5 Fords and 5 Toyotas. And you know how many Chevrolets? 5 plus 5, top 10.
That'd be a zero.
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 The big goose egg for the Chevrolets this week at Loudon.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. Crazy races going on. I really enjoyed the racing this weekend at New Hampshire because, for one, it's called the Magic Mile, and you know, let's look at it. It's like a big a big Martinsville on steroids, right? Right.
Yes.
A lot of single filing, but they had that PJ1 different grooves.
Yeah.
There was more passing yesterday. It was an exciting race all the way to the end.
Yep.
Awesome
was.
race.
So that was Kevin Harvick. That's 21 straight races that he was winless.
Yeah,
in
21
2019.
races. That's right.
So he held off Denny Hamlin on older tires to win
Yep.
Sunday's Foxwood.
At this
Resorts.
point last year, SHR had like 8 wins already. This was like their 8th win.
Yeah, SHR is struggling a bit right now. Sorry, I got to turn my. For some reason I didn't have the power turned on this. Huh. Okay. I think my phone's charging now. Alrighty. I'm getting text messages too. That's the problem with using my phone, is I'll get text messages and all that kind of stuff. So, alright, is that thing charging? I think it's charging. Okay, so we had the victory was Harvick's 4th at the Magic Mile, most among active drivers, and tied with Jeff Burton for the most wins of all time at Loudon. The driver number 4, Stuart Haas, racing Ford Mustang, won his 2nd straight race at the 1.058 mile track and his 3rd in the last 5 events.
Good.
So I'd say, you know, it's a good. Did we go back to New Hampshire again this year?
No, only one time.
That was it.
Yeah, that's it. One time at the Magic Mile, because
yeah,
their second race went to Vegas, so we're going to Vegas.
You're going out west instead.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Yeah, so it's not like that's going to be a good playoff race for Harvick. So, crew chief Rodney Childers made the winning call to keep Harvick on track with older tires when Hamlin pitted and the right side rubber on lap 266 under caution for Kyle Larson's spin in turn 2. Hamlin restarted 4th, quickly moved to 2nd, and chased Harvick to the final 29 laps. So on the final lap, I'm sure y'all saw that. That was very exciting. I was hanging out with Beer Man over in his tiki bar, the Fifth Creek bar.
Yeah.
And so we were watching it. It was like, okay, here comes Hamlin moving up through the pack with all these lap cars, and then he gets up there like he was going to take him out. He really tried.
Well, the question is what if Hamlin didn't have those 2 wins in his pocket already? Would it have been a different outcome?
Yeah, he probably would have been more aggressive.
You know,
I do have that down here somewhere. He said that he was. He said that he could have raced Kevin Harvick dirtier.
Yes, he could have been on there, but he already had those 2 wins in his pocket, and but we saw how Kevin won the race last year. He bumped Kyle Busch out of the way.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do, especially tracks like that.
Great racing.
Yeah.
That's what we're coming here for, right?
But the one thing that I noticed was he was bumping him in the rear, and it didn't, in the old cars I say old cars, several years ago or 2 years ago, they would have spun out because, now we got these big spoilers on the rear of the car.
Cars spin them out.
It's really keeping the downforce on the rear.
Lots of downforce, yeah.
And then you add the PB&J on the track.
Yeah. There was one driver, I think,
BJ1
in the post-race interview yesterday. He had I think it was a green jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a green jumpsuit? Like a play suit.
Mm-hmm.
He was crying he couldn't pass. But you know what? The guy that finished second started last. He passed somebody.
Yeah, he passed somebody. Yeah. So it's really not an excuse.
So that cat in that green jumpsuit don't know what he's talking about.
I'd say not.
Yeah,
Speaking of jumpsuits, did you see the fireman official or the fire guy gets out? Whose car was it? Somebody's car was on fire. Eric Jones maybe, and he was getting out of his car. So then here comes the fire crew, and he jumps out. This might have been practice or something.
No, that was a replay.
Okay.
And yeah.
He jumps out and falls.
And Eric just throws his hands up. Yeah,
I felt bad for him, but it was like.
That was a couple of races ago.
Okay, my son sent me that in a messenger, and I was
funny,
like,
yeah. Poor Eric Jones.
I was asking my son if you recognize it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so on the final lap, Hamlin got to Harvick's bumper, gave the number 4 Mustang a tap, but Hamlin's Toyota couldn't clear Harvick. So then Hamlin gets out on the outside, and he says he was doing it because he's got the PJ on the track. So he thought he could run around the outside line, but then you could see him coming down on Harvick. He was gonna, but it didn't work. Basically, Harvick won the race. Enough said about that. But that was a great call by crew chief Rodney Childers, one of my buddies.
Oh yeah, and they got to have the lobster in Victory Lane.
What was it, 20-pound lobster?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was caught 200 miles offshore, 200 feet deep. That's a long layout, I can tell you that.
So what? Oh, 200 feet deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 200 miles offshore.
Okay.
That's like halfway to Tokyo, but it's a long way.
I didn't think last night you said 200 miles deep, and I was like, what?
I had a couple of pops yesterday.
And I was joking. So. I said 200 miles. I said that must be an armor-clad lobster.
Yeah, well,
200 miles deep.
See, usually when we and little overindulge on the race on Sunday, we don't drink on Monday, y'all. No.
Yeah, so Harvick ended up saying, I didn't think we had the best chance to win today, but Rodney made a great call.
He truly looked happy. Like his nickname would be Happy Harvick.
Yeah, imagine that. Maybe that's why they call him.
Happy Harvick.
Now he could be still Happy Harvick.
He looked real happy.
Or
you know,
finally Happy Harvick.
and the other thing I want to talk about with the race was it was such a great race because you had 2 tire strategies, 4 tire strategies, no gas or no tires, just gas. You had a lot of strategies going on, and then Ricky Stenhouse, man, he's got one coming to his buddy Eric Jones too. You know, you know.
Yeah.
Look, for all us Ford fans, we're hoping that Ricky can pull something out in Bristol, okay?
Yeah.
Because he's good at Bristol. We want to see Ricky out there. He just adds excitement. You know, I just love Ricky Stenhouse, man.
Yeah.
You know, and he deserves it. So
It was
let's
kind of
give him a break.
It was kind of neat, some of the strategies like you're talking about. It seemed like that reminded me of some of the plate racing strategies. You know, 2 tires or left side. Didn't they do left side only? It was something like that.
There
Or
was
just
a
gas
lot
and
of
go.
strategies going on. You know,
Gas and
track
go,
position
something
up
like
there. You know, but
Yeah.
you know, Happy Harvick hung on at the end of the day.
One of these days they're going to say rear tires only. What do you think?
Yep.
Maybe.
Oh, hey, you know
Maybe.
what? And my wife's
Good
over
old
at
dirt
Outback,
tracks.
and I'm sure they're having bloomin' onion today.
You know what?
Free bloomin' onion.
That is right. And I said that to Tracy
But
last
if he
night.
wins, I think it's like a free steak dinner
But if he
and
finishes,
lobster.
if he finishes in the top, now I'm going to the Outback because
I
I don't
wouldn't,
have to get up early and go to work in the morning.
Tell him Mr. Hamm sent you.
Well, you know what? I'm sure Rodney's out there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm sure
He
Rodney's-
goes to Mooresville sometimes. but,
Yep.
You know, and if
Yep.
if Harvick finishes in the top 10, you get a free bloomin' onion, and the bloomin' onion's like $9 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a deal. It's worth.
Yeah.
And the bloomin' onion's awesome. Even my wife likes that. So yeah. So back to the final lap. Whenever Hamlin says, he says, well, I kind of shoved him up a little higher and tried to get him out of the groove.
Yeah.
And he then he says he crashed his primary car in practice, so he's kind of watching it. And he started in the back. I mean, yeah, I wanted to give him him there, but I didn't want to completely screw him. At least I wanted to give him a fair shot there down the backstretch. But like Scott said, if it would have been, he wasn't in the points yet, it probably would have been a fair shot. Because at that point, it's like, you know, all or nothing. So Eric Jones finished third, overcoming contact with Alex Bowman's Chevrolet Camaro Z01 on pit road and a subsequent speeding penalty.
Ooh.
Yep. Ryan Blaney ran fourth, followed by Matt DiBenedetto, who posted his second top 5 result of the season.
Yes.
He's a pretty good driver. I mean, he seems to be
Yes,
doing.
Matt. Well, yeah, got some Toyota power behind him, but you know,
Yeah.
Matty D's got to step it up because C. Bell's probably going to fill that seat next
Yeah,
year. Yeah.
It's almost too little, too late. You think?
Yeah. I think Kalen kissing the lobster is pretty cool. I saw that on
Mhm.
Facebook today. It was pretty neat. You know.
Yeah, because he said if he won, he was going to do it. So.
And also Rachel says you think if Hamlin
yeah.
tried harder, you know, that's what we talked about. If he didn't have those wins in the bank, Rachel, he'd have been spinning them, I'm sure. And then Happy Harvick wouldn't have been real happy. I guarantee you, as hot as it was,
Yeah.
Happy would not have been happy. So yeah,
Yeah,
there might
that's
be somebody throwing a lobster at somebody in victory lane.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But I don't agree with people crashing people on the last lap and all that. You know, I mean, go up and ride the fender or something. Let them know. You know.
Yeah.
Or you know, we'll get to that in a second. But
I agree.
no, let's get to it
Race
right.
them clean.
Let's get to it right now. You know, Saturday's Xfinity race with Harrison Burton and Paul Menard. I don't know some of y'all watch Xfinity, some of you don't, but you know I do. And you know, all day long, Harrison Burton. You know, it's his third Xfinity race. He was just he kind of was riding. It seemed like him and Paul Menard were racing around each other all the time. And Paul's the only Cup guy, the veteran, and come on, give him a break. Yeah, he probably leaned into him a little bit.
Yeah.
But then Paul just drove down in turn one, and man, I spun him up.
Oh,
on
yeah, I
six,
did see
you
that.
know. But
Uh-huh.
after the race, Harrison Burton gained a lot of fans by walking up to
went and
Paul
talked to
Menard
him.
and said, "Hey, dude, you know, I mean, you know, you hit me." Well, he was pointing over there, going, "Well, I don't see any marks on your car where you said I hit
Yeah.
you," you know.
Yeah.
But you know,
At least
Harrison
that's what
Burton.
the announcers were saying. He was saying.
Good job for Harrison Burton. But yes, you go back and talk to the guy afterwards. Don't text him. Don't social media.
Go on Twitter and
Don't
blast him
tweet
out.
his ass. Just go there and talk to him and say, "Hey, dude,
That could be the
my
Hamm
bumper,
hanky.
my guy got to fix."
Yes. So
So yeah,
we got a lot of people tuning in here. Rachel
Yeah.
Rodman, Michael Wright, Chad
Yeah.
Ryder.
that's right. There's Chad
Terry
up there.
Quinn,
Yeah,
Scott Trevison.
yeah,
Wonder where
yeah.
he's at.
I'm
He's-
right here.
Is he back from Florida yet?
Yeah.
Where's old Tom at?
How's
In
it going,
Indiana.
Tom?
So we got Oklahoma, Florida, Delos tuning in, Rachel in Charlotte, Chad up in Ohio,
Ohio.
Ryan Spencer in Pennsylvania, Linda Jinx, I forgot where you're at. You're in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Hey, they got their first
Where Scott wants to
tropical
be.
storm or disturbance or depression, I guess, of the
SC
season.
Pirate, that kid.
So we got to watch out. A little tropical depression coming up this way.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, it's going to parallel
Oh,
the
Tom's
coast.
here.
Yep.
What's up, Tom?
Tom,
Thought I saw you on here earlier.
Rachel.
Yeah,
There.
so let's
All right,
see.
get back to notes. What we got here?
Rest of the lap traffic too. All right, skip over the rest of the stuff. Well, Mark Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch, Joe Logano, and pole sitter Brad Keselowski completed the top 10. This was after Eric Jones's deal. I was just reading. Busch led a race high, 118 of 301 laps, but lost track position when he had to return to pit road under caution on lap 153 to fix a tire rub. Imagine that, of all things. He later hit the wall on lap 214 to cause the 7th of 9 cautions, but rallied to score the top 10. And we'll see here in just a little bit where they're at in the points and how that kind of shook things up a little bit.
Oh boy, if you're a 48 fan, look out.
Yep. So my prediction with the 48 was he wasn't going to make the, I talked about that on the radio, and I was saying my prediction was that Newman was going to make it and then the 48 wasn't. But who knows? We'll see. You know, the Roush is running, well, I say Roush. Well, okay, Stenhouse and Newman
Yep.
running decent. So they're
Yep.
back to running in the top
Yep.
10s, except for
Hey, when we
Stenhouse
when we were
keep
down at
wrecking
Daytona, we saw a ton of Oscar Mayer shirts.
Oscar Myers.
Oscar Mayer Wiener shirts,
Yeah.
dude. The cruise shirts. They sell them, you know, they're like
Yeah.
they look like cruise shirts. But surprisingly, the ones I saw were all worn by women.
Oh, I was going to ask what was the, yeah, because
He's got some fans out there.
my first thought was probably older women, maybe, because they see the familiar face of a driver that's been around a long time. He used to be
Yep,
the
yep.
Rocket Man, you know,
Yep,
he used to
yep,
get poles
yep.
all, kind of like Nemechek,
Hey.
and then Ryan Newman come along and he started getting all the poles.
He's still the hardest person to pass on the track. He
Linda's-
wears that as a badge of honor.
Oh, Linda Jinx in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Right?
Scranton,
We used
Pennsylvania.
to fly into Scranton.
That's right.
We were going into, I guess that was going to Pocono, right?
So Linda's going to the race this weekend in Pocono.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Linda, yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to join.
Yeah, we used to
her
go
and
hang
Paul.
out at the Camelback Chateau. You know, the Camelback Mountain, the Chateau. That's where we stayed at all the
The
time.
chateau.
The Chateau. And
Did
then
you
they
go golfing?
had the what is it? The concrete
Fishing.
slide? No, the ski hill. And
Okay.
then they got that I don't know, what is it? The slide. You go down on the concrete, man. It's,
Slalom?
yeah, no, it's
But
like
not
it's
really.
like a little cart you ride.
Oh,
you know,
really?
and you got a little brake and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
on the track,
Yeah, it's got
I
a
mean,
little-
on
the hill.
like a train track.
No, it's like on a concrete slide. Alpine slide. It's called the Alpine slide.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
I
sure.
remember that.
I'm
I
sure
never did
Linda's
do
probably
it.
been there up there.
I've seen video of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That looks like that would have been a lot of fun.
Yes.
So well into the third quarter of the year already. Here's an update on how 2019 is going. Ford Performance and Roush Yates engines have combined to win 11 races this year so far. I guess 10 of those were when I was still working there. Now that doesn't count Xfinity races too, or GT series, all that other stuff. You know, Roush Yates is winning, the Fords are winning, and the Toyotas sort of took off. But hey, maybe it's time to turn around and put the Fords back.
I still think there's a good parity.
So
They're all, you know, I mean, let's keep the Chevys
Well-
down for a while. I mean, look, hey, you know,
yeah, they had their time.
come on.
And you think about it. If Ford was winning all the races, then they're going to be so much whining.
No,
and then
yeah.
NASCAR's going to take everything away from
Yeah,
Ford.
I
and
think
so
everything's just right.
At least this way, you know, keep.
Anybody tell you the race is no
I'm
good
serious.
today, you tell them they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, so
That's right.
get enough Fords into the final 12, 16, whatever the points deal, the playoffs. Get enough Fords in there, they'll have more than a 50% chance of winning the championship,
Oh, yeah.
which is huge. So,
Yeah.
Joe Logano and the number 22 team, Penske Ford, team led the regular season of Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series standing. 7 Ford teams total are above the cut line for the playoffs with 6 races to go. So 7 teams potentially be in the top 10. That'd be 70% of a chance. So Kyle Larson has re-signed with Chip Ganassi Racing, and Eric
Oh, did
Jones
he?
is in the process of re-signing with Joe Gibbs Racing.
Ooh, yeah. So that leaves Seabell to go to
Matt Bazell.
Matt Bazell.
Oh gosh.
What did he write?
Can't read that.
Yeah,
I put it on not airplane mode. silent mode or sleep mode or whatever. But anyway, still getting texts and messages and stuff.
So we think Seatbelt probably gonna go to Matt DiBenedetto's seat. Where's Matt DiBenedetto gonna go?
I don't know. Hey, y'all get away from there. That's all we need is to knock my camera over or something.
Come here.
My dogs are playing around.
I got it.
So Northeast Motorsports Museum in New Hampshire honored Joey Logano at a dinner July 19th. Joey is from Middleton, Connecticut. The dinner was a sellout. Denny Hamlin and Ryan Newman went to backup cars after wrecking in their first practice. Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, William Byron wrecked second practice and went to backups. Alex Bowman lost the drive shaft, messing up his car.
Ooh,
and
yes.
Daniel Hemrick failed tech 3 times and lost his car chief. 6 drivers started from the back. Yeah, what about that drive shaft?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That, and then he wrecked the backup car, and then they had to go get Jimmy Johnson's backup car. So
yeah,
he was on his 3rd car. That very rarely happens, but yes, I remember Kenny Wallace did that for us years ago in the Dirt Devil car. He wrecked 2 cars at Rockingham, and then we had to go up and get one of Kyle Petty's mellow yellow cars.
Yeah,
we were pulling decals off the thing and getting it back down.
Yeah,
there,
going from a 42 to a 40.
Yeah.
So the
still didn't run with a damn.
Yeah, imagine that. So yeah, somebody was asking me why did they have to go to a backup car whenever the drive shaft came out? I said
it destroyed underneath it.
Yes,
it just ripped the whole thing. I mean,
well, that's what I said. I said if it happened at speed, you know, if it happened you taking off, then that's one thing. But if it happened under speed, I mean, it could come out the brake lines. It could take out brake lines. It could take out stuff that you don't even know it took out.
It'll hurt you or hurt another driver.
Until you're going around the track. So that car, they'll be taking that thing apart and going through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Magnaflux and everything. I don't know if y'all know this, but they take all these pieces off them cars and they Magnaflux. I'm checking for cracks because if they, you know, I used to have to do that myself, do the Magnafluxing part. And so, because if there's a little crack in a control arm or something, it could turn into a big crack and then the control arm breaks. So, I mean, everything's got to be, you know, sandblasted, and then it's a lot of work. I mean, it is a lot of work. So Hendricks went through a lot of cars this weekend. Alex Bowman messed up his car that threw the drive shaft. Then he wrecked his backup, and then he had to use Jimmy Johnson's backup.
Did he finish the race? Where did he finish?
And then William Byron wrecked and went to his backup car.
Where did they?
That would be right here. And then
be right here.
Yeah.
I don't see him there.
Kevin Harvick was 6-1 odds to win. And this was Kevin Harvick, should be right here. Oh, yes, it's the top 10. I'm sorry.
Top 10, yeah.
This was Kevin Harvick and Stuart Haas Racing's first win of the season, believe it or not, for Stuart Haas.
Yep.
We were talking about that earlier. You said they'd won like 8 races already or something.
Last year.
Kevin's 4th career win at New Hampshire.
4th. So now he's tied with Jeff Burton, who has 4 wins. So now those two are the all-time winningest drivers at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Yeah. Jeff Burton and Happy Harvick.
Happy Harvick, and he's got the most wins of the active drivers there.
Oh yeah, so
but that may not help him the rest of the season because they're not going back.
Yep.
So in the point standings, here we go. This is what the a little bit of a shake-up, but Joey Logano is back to lead over Kyle Busch. Kevin Harvick's up to 3rd place. Denny Hamlin 4th. Brad Keselowski 5th. Martin Truex 6th. Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Eric Almirola, Alex Bowman, Ryan Newman, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Ryan Newman. I thought I said Ryan Newman already. It's on here twice. Okay, I don't know how that happened. Clint Boyer. Let's be top 15.
So Rachel wants to know what's the difference between a primary and a backup. You know, and that's, you know, one's got the cooler in the front seat, one's the coolers in the back seat. Tell the fans out there the difference.
The difference in the primary and the backup.
Not much, right?
No, not anymore. No. Not, you know, drivers used to have their favorite cars and they'd name their cars, and but since, you know, you got the newer cars, the chassis are all, I mean, they're just, and they want to go there and have a good enough chance to win the race with their backup cars as they do their.
Probably the biggest difference is they don't have any track time on that backup. If it depends on when they crash it, you know, they got to qualify, boom, you know, or if it's after qualifying and the first laps on that car and the backup car, you know, that's probably the biggest thing, you know. Yeah, Rusty had Midnight, and you know, Jeff Gordon had T-Rex there for a while, you know. I mean, you know, there was quite a few different classic cars.
Yeah, and you also have, okay, so my battery's not charging for some reason. You also have
push
the
low power mode.
Okay. Oh crap.
No wonder it's not even plugged in.
Yeah, my thing's
push low power mode. You'll save.
All right. Yeah.
Well, what we got here?
All right.
You don't push low power.
Sorry, everybody. No.
Oh.
Yeah, one of my things is broke here. That's what's going on.
That's what it is.
Okay, battery should be charging now.
Oh, now
My
you know.
I had this plugged in for my battery to be charging, but for some reason my thing's broke. You see that's broke?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So I had a little malfunction there. All right. So that's the I guess you could say the Hamm's hanky. What were we talking about earlier? Oh, about the driver being upset or driver not letting. Okay. Let's go on to how about this warm beer, cold beer.
Yeah,
We were talking about doing that last time.
that's right.
So how about let's say we'll talk about the winners going on here. We'll give them the cold beer. So
Yes, you got to give. You can't deny a cold Busch beer on a hot day goes to Kevin Harvick. Yes, sir. And who gets the nasty warm
yes,
beer?
he no longer has the answer to the question when he will win.
That's right.
Now the question is it will lead to a string of wins.
Yeah. So my cold beer goes to Kevin Harvick. And
14 has shown speed, but just
14.
hasn't made it to victory lane as yesterday. Yeah. He's the seventh different driver to win this season, the longest streak of the season. All right. Ryan Newman, cold beer.
Cold beer.
So he was in a backup car and he started back then.
Definitely.
100 laps to go, he broke a coil that sapped his engine's power. Okay. His team recovered and he finished 7th. That was probably a coil wire, I believe he had issues with. So if y'all don't know, each cylinder has its own coil and each cylinder has its own coil wire. You know, it used to be you had a distributor and the distributor had a rotor inside there, and that's what directed power to each cylinder one at a time, and then it went straight to, you had one coil, but now each one has its own coil.
There you go.
And Matt DiBenedetto with his 5th place finish, and that was his 3rd top 10. So there's
Wow.
cold beers to those guys.
Yes, definitely.
And then the warm beers, Jimmy Johnson, after losing
Yeah.
power steering, Jimmy fell back to 30th place finishes and dropped to 17th points.
It's out of the playoff picture.
And he has never missed the playoffs, but he's about to. It looks that way. Richard Childress Racing, Daniel Hemrick finished 37th, and Austin Dillon 32nd. So, and then Hendrick Motorsports, Alex Bowman went through two backup cars, this and that. Kyle Larson wrecked 2 times in the last 100 laps. So all those
Yes,
guys get
yes,
warm beers.
yes.
What do you think about that beer, man?
Yeah. I mean, the Chevy camp just didn't
Is what
really
it is.
perform. Kyle Busch complaining at the very end. I just didn't think that was worth a cold beer. That's definitely worth a warm beer. I just like, dude, I don't want to hear it. But,
Yeah.
Rachel has a question here about Brad Kay. Do you think he's going to do the same as he did last year? And you never know. I mean, he won them 3 races in a row, and he was hot, and then all of a sudden he,
Yep.
cooled off, or he had a cold beer and went to a warm beer. He warmed up.
I guess.
I don't know. That's a hard question. It's such a fickle team over there,
Mhm.
and when he'll just be on fire, and then all of a sudden, then they just miss it. But rest assured, Paul Wolf is one of the smartest guys in the garage area, and Paul Wolf ain't scared to try nothing,
Yeah.
and so I would never count out Brad Kay or Joey.
No.
I mean, we really want to see the 12 Ryan Blaney, get a little bit more speed out of that car. He could use that. So I think so, but
And Team Penske, it's hard to beat the cars that they have right now. I mean, they're strong with the Toyotas. Obviously the Toyotas are running very well.
Yep.
And now maybe Stuart Haas is getting their show back together, and they're going to do something. So
Yes, and Bowman needs a case of warm beer for that performance.
Yeah.
But he's got a win in the
Not
bank.
very well.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Yeah, that's right. Terry Quinn says HMS Chevy had their day in the sun for years.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Ford's
right.
time to shine.
That's right.
I totally get it.
That's right.
Totally agree.
That's right. So we're headed to Pocono this
yeah,
weekend.
so-
The Pocono Zone.
Yep, Poconos.
Let me tell you something. Bearman's had a lot of fun at Pocono. Oh yeah.
That'd be Pocono right here. In case y'all didn't see it earlier.
There was this place down
Signed
the
by
mountain
Wood Brothers.
called the Thirsty
Circle
Camel
Hat.
by the Outlet Mall over there in Tannersville. We stayed at. No, Nate Kinnon.
Oh yeah, Nate.
Nate called it the cockeyed camel. He said,
Little
Bearman.
Nate.
He said, 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I got on the plane at 1 o'clock drinking, and I've been drinking for 12 hours straight. I said, you gotta be up at 6 or at the track at 6.
Yeah,
The
right.
cockeyed camel. I don't know if it's still there. It's an old ski lodge at the bottom of the hill down there by the outlaw.
Little Nate was always the guy that he was the one that would crawl in the car because he was the smallest guy
Oh,
in the
yeah.
shop. We always had him get in there and clean out everything.
Those
Which I've
were
done that
those
before
were the
myself.
days when they used to take zip
It's kinda
ties
tight.
and they would zip tie their thumbs together over the drive axle when they're under the
Oh
car.
yeah, and take you a little nap.
And they take a nap, and like each one would like watch for the boss.
I'll tell you what, there's something about laying on those creepers, man.
Hey, that's a
underneath the car,
NASCAR
air
secret. Not a
conditioning
lot of
shop. It's
people
like-
know.
No,
Yeah,
it's something that
sleeping
put me
on the
to sleep.
creeper.
It put me to sleep as good as sitting on pit wall.
No wonder we didn't win that many races back then.
We won a lot of parties.
We won a lot of parties, bro. Especially at the Cockeyed Camel.
Yep.
But yes, had a good time in Pocono.
Yeah, so the series next race is the Gander RV 400.
Ooh,
And
Marcus Lemonis will be there.
That's scheduled most likely, and I wonder if she'll bring a big flag, but that's scheduled for next Sunday at 3 p.m.
Yep.
NBC, yeah, no. Sirius XM, of course, NASCAR Radio at Pocono Raceway. Some of the history, the track facts of Pocono are, there you go again, the Gander 400, it's 400 miles, 160 laps. The stages are 50 lap, and then 60 lap for the final stage. It was called a Pure Later 400 in 1974.
Ooh, remember that?
And it has had 16 different name changes.
Wow.
Yeah, so how about this, y'all? I'm going to ask you a quiz question. Who is the driver that has the most wins at Pocono? And he's no longer an active driver. If you need a hint, I'll give you a hint in a minute.
I'll say Bill Elliott.
All right, you can take that guess. The team with the most wins
Bill won a couple of times there.
is Joe Gibbs Racing with 7.
Ooh.
The manufacturer with the most wins, of course, is Chevrolet from back in the day when they would win everything. Yep. And the last year's winner was Kyle Busch. All right, so Chad Hyder says Gordon. Robbie Gordon? No, I'm just kidding. Jeff Gordon. That's a good guess because that's a good guess. But
Is that the winner?
no,
No.
I would say, okay, I'll give you a hint. One little quick hint. This driver also set the recorded fastest lap. I guess it was in any track or in a NASCAR track. The recorded fastest. The one that
Buddy Baker?
the one that stood that everybody kind of knows about. No, no, it was one that they say, oh, he holds the record for the fastest lap at Daytona.
Bill
That's
Elliott.
how they- Yes, that was it. That's it. Bill Elliott.
So I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Right off
I
the
just
bat.
wanted to see you sweat or whatever. I wanted to give somebody else a chance. Kyle Busch.
Look, man, you're
was one of
talking to the
James,
biggest
but-
Ford fan here. I know Rachel and Terry and y'all.
Rachel
But
says
dude,
Bill
man,
Jr., but-
you know, look.
Yeah.
Bill,
Bill
boy,
Elliott.
the
That's right.
competition is
Spencer.
these days.
Brian Spencer.
Like that,
Oh,
Bill?
what happened? Okay, there we go.
The way the competition is these
Well,
days.
my dad never did like Bill Elliott. He called him Bill Idiot.
Bill Elliott. 'Cause your dad was a Chevy fan. He loved
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt. That's all.
No, actually, my
Really?
dad liked
Waltrip?
Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell Waltrip. That's
That was
okay.
that was my dad's most
That's
favorite
okay.
driver. And before that, all I ever knew about, I mean, Junior Johnson back in
Awesome
the
Bill
old,
from
and
Dawsonville.
back in the white number 3 from 1969 or whatever. I mean, that was my dad's favorite driver, Junior Johnson. So
I can't tell you the time when I drove my 1986 Ford Thunderbird to the Dawsonville pool room
Awesome Bill.
on the way to Talladega, baby.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome Bill from Dawson.
I came to Charlotte with my old
Get away from there.
Ford Thunderbird with my pop-up camper, my
Tree down in the roadway.
yes,
Cool Springs.
and then it was they called it the All-Star race was
Brian
called
Spencer got it right.
Fan Week, you know,
Fan
here in
Week.
Charlotte. You know, that's when it was still running in the daytime, and then I went to the next race. I think it was like 2 weeks later. It was in Talladega, so I drove through Dawsonville, and I got to see the siren. You know, where they blow the siren.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went, and, yeah,
Oh
good
yeah,
time.
whenever Elliott wins.
I still got my picture of my
Elliott.
Ford. That was like a proud day. A picture of my Ford outside the
Oh, yeah?
Dawsonville pool room, baby.
That's pretty cool.
Woo!
I've never been down there.
I had to show you that picture. That's a
Never been to
that's
Austin,
a proud
or
picture.
Awesomeville.
I love that Ford Thunderbird, bro.
Remember the old commercial in Charlotte with the Ford dealership, and he said, "That's awesome, Bill."
That's awesome, Bill.
Harrelson Ford.
The way the competition is these days.
If you're from Charlotte, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. And we got another Pocono fact.
What's that?
This week will be the first time that an well, other than an SMI track, is going to be using the PJ1. Now, the PJ1 traction compound, you've heard it all day. We're talking about it, okay? It's why the grace was
Peanut
so
butter and
good.
jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly. But it's only been at
PJ.
the SMI tracks, the Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, right? So you got to make sure that you'll see it working at Pocono. So Pocono's going to have basically 2 or 3 different grooves going into turn 1, and I think turn 3 is they're going to put it in there. But watch for another great race this weekend. More PJ1 at
More PJ1 at
Pocono.
All right.
Pocono, yes.
Yeah, and this is the page right here I had on my notes to talk about Nick Harrison.
Yes.
Passed away in his sleep Saturday night. He was only 37 years old.
37 years
and that
old.
Was College Racing, number 11, Xfinity. And I guess he was one that Nick Harrison was the one that said, it was whenever Kurt Busch was driving the 54 car, I believe it was in between teams for Kurt Busch, and he told him to stay out, and then Kurt Busch was already in, so he was pitching a fit, and then one of the crew members was messing up with the gun, so then Nick Harrison was like on the radio just giving them heck and cussing up a storm. I saw that video. I actually saw it on his Facebook wall. Somebody was saying, this is what I'll remember, right? One of the good moments or whatever.
Yep.
But you know, that's a high pressure situation during the race like that. And it's a hard thing to do. These crew chiefs they definitely earn their money. They have their experience, and they have to go with the confidence of having that experience.
Spotter is even tougher.
Yeah, spotter.
Yes, Brian, I did work at Sabco. I joined Sabco in 1992. Gary Nelson was still crew chief in there. And we had Cal Petty and Mellow Yellow, 92, 93, 94.
Speaking of spotters.
Yeah, and then Armando, back in the day, he wanted me to become spotter from one of the teams. And I was like, dude, I ain't going to be a spotter. I remember our parts guy, Steve Knipe was our spotter in Dover one time. And him and Kyle got into it, man. And I never seen Kyle so mad. And that was like, I just joined the team actually at that time, and I was like, oh man, I ain't gonna be no spotter, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take care of the beer and make sure everybody has a good time.
Yeah, do you remember the time whenever Cringe was spotting for Kyle Petty?
Oh.
Cringe was our head engine builder.
Yeah.
And then Kyle's like, shut up. I don't want to hear a word the rest of the race. Don't nobody say anything. But that was it. The rest of the race, no spotting, nothing.
The Cringe was awesome, man. The Cringe would get on that thing and he'd be like, they're crashing like pigs in turn 1.
Yes, crashing like pigs.
The Cringe. His
Kyle
name was Keith Simmons.
Keith
his
Simmons,
name.
yeah. I think
Head engine builder. He come from Bill Davis Racing, and then we took him from
the
Bill
one
Davis.
car with Jeff Gordon. He was the engine
Was
builder.
Oh, okay.
He was there, yeah, because whenever I went to work in the old
the Bush
Bill Davis building up
Baby
there in the
Ruth
Busch
car.
Series, yeah.
The Baby
There
Ruth
was
Ford.
still
Can you
some
imagine
pictures
Jeff
and
Gordon
stuff
drove a
of that.
Ford? We let that son of a gun go?
Yeah, he got gone just like that
Yeah.
from Bill Davis. I don't think Bill Davis ever recovered from that. I mean after that it was yeah. But Kyle used to say it was plowing like a freight train, I believe is one of his things. I don't know. Or just it's pushing like a freight train. And then Sterling Martin was probably the funniest one, the driver in the car.
Oh yeah, we always had fun with Sterling.
Because he was just as
In and out.
even when he was in his way cussing other drivers, he was doing it. It was funny. It was because it was as southern as you could get. Just about.
Yeah.
Wasn't really cussing. It was just kind of like.
This Chad Hyder wrote Fitz.
Yeah, he's talking about Armando. When you said Armando, actually the spot.
Armando Fitz.
Or,
Yes.
Yeah, when
Armando. Oregano. We had lots of names for Armando.
Which was Felix's son-in-law, because he was married to Mimi at the time.
Yep.
And they had kids together, Armando and then their daughter.
Yep.
But they're still, I still got text messages coming in. So, all right. So don't forget to click subscribe on this video. Hit the like.
Hit the like button.
You know, that way
Tell your friends about us, okay? Or about David.
Yeah.
Not me, but David.
Put the, tell your friends.
David's retired now. He needs a little more YouTube, endorsements. So let's see if we can get David's YouTube count up to over 1,000. And look out.
It's already.
2,000.
I'm shooting for 2,000.
2,000. Let's get it over 3,000.
But most importantly, I'm shooting to get more people together. You know, I saw a thing today where it said Dale Jr. All right, so I don't know if Dale Jr. started doing this after we started doing this. It seems like it.
There's a lot of podcasts going out there.
It says something about Dale Jr.'s podcasts are bringing more race fans back to the sport. Okay,
That's cool.
So that is cool. So if we can do our part, you know, it's smaller than Dale Jr.'s, but hey, what if Dale Jr.'s like, hey, what is these two guys here are
Who are these two
doing
knuckleheads?
really good.
They're gonna go, oh, that's Hamm. Well, that's the beer man.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing? That's when I used to grab him by his shoulder and say, "There's life after NASCAR." There is life after NASCAR, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, yeah.
And David is just welcome.
Lost weight.
David's now NASCAR refugee, but he did it on his own terms. Okay, that's a different kind of refugee. Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So we give you cold beer for that. Not until this weekend. Though.
Yeah, I know, right? I got out before I, you know, whatever. Maybe I saw some of the writing on the wall, but that's another story. It doesn't matter. Now it's time for me to move forward and do the things that I'm doing. And part of that's doing the YouTube stuff because I really enjoy doing it. And so being here all day, it gives me more time to prepare, even though I always seem like I was just an hour before I started this, I was pressure washing an inline 8-cylinder engine for an old Buick. And then I was trying to get it in before the rain because it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So I thought, okay, I can be in here putting it together tomorrow. So working in my shop. But anyway, that's what I'm always working on something and always having a good time.
All right, Paul says good night, guys.
Good night. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Check out the other videos.
And check out the racing. Iowa.
Stay tuned for next
Iowa's
week.
going to have the Xfinity race standalone, and then the trucks on Saturday and Sunday is going to be the Cup. And then next year we're going to have a doubleheader at Pocono. So
That's right.
yeah, you get some Pocono racing. I hope it's excited because we're going to get 2 big scoopfuls in one weekend next year.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Maybe we should like do a live during the race. I don't know if that'll go that good.
Yeah, it's
right
hard.
after the race.
Let
right
David
after the
know
doubleheader.
if you think he should do a live one. But
Yeah, how about if we do a live sometime during the race?
during the race.
Because people could tune in, you know, it's not like you're going to be sitting there watching the whole race. You're going to be taking a little nap, you know, whatever.
Things might get out of hand though.
But hey, we could do a live from the Beer Man's Beer Cave or the Tiki Bar down there.
Yeah, or
I think
here.
Brian Spencer said something on Facebook about why don't we do it? Why don't we do the show from the Tiki Bar, Fifth Creek Tiki Bar?
Yeah.
But we already have.
Yes, we
Many
have one.
actually, several.
Couple of them.
Yep.
Yeah. That's some good times over there.
That's right.
Yesterday was another one of them, but it was hot.
It was hot.
We drank all the beer.
I think I think it's finally cooling down just a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting the cold front in here.
That's right.
Okay, any other questions on here?
Any more questions? And
Nope.
we're gonna head out. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And then we will see you all next Monday after the Pocono race.
That's right.
Should be exciting. All right, we'll see you next time.
Love you. Mean it. Hugs and kisses.